科技深琳.net 準時同你見面。
唔知點解我哋個導演咧好開心啊，不停咁喺度笑。
係咁一路笑一路倒數啊！
傻咗我哋個導演。係啦，咁我哋翻到嚟第二 part 嘅科技森林，咁我有我哋嘅生物新人類。咁我哋今日請到個嘉賓咧就係蕭日先生 Yet。咁啊佢係 Outblaze 嘅 CEO 啦。咁啱啱咧啲網友我見到 chat room 度咧就話靚女主持，你嘅發音好似鬼婆啊！我就唔係鬼婆，即係咁講啦。不過今日咧，我哋嘅嘉賓就真係唔識講中文嘅。咁等我哋都會用英文對答啦。咁跟住之後，我哋再簡單咁樣翻譯一下，希望大家唔好介意啦。咁係啊，打手又可以幫下我手，咁我譯翻中文，你可以幫我打翻出嚟，會清楚少少。係啦，咁so yet I want to ask you again. You're only 26. Right? Although you're going to be 27 very soon, you're still 26.
That's right.
And I look at your, kind of resume kind of stuff, and it makes me wonder, how come you're 26, I'm 26, you've done so much, I do nothing, okay? You went to like many colleges, and then you like how many companies you found already? And then how much, like Outblaze worth like, I don't know, like zillions right now?
I don't know. How do you want to put that? Okay. Well, what do you want me to say?
Well, how come your life is so accelerated?
I think the only way to answer this really is your life is what you make of it, frankly speaking.
Right.
You know, what you're interested in doing. I was born in Vienna, Austria. I was born to a family of musicians. So that is why I studied music, and that's how I grew up. Yeah, but in a society which was predominantly white, right? Austrian, and I was I was sort of more of an unusual figure, being the only Chinese person, sort of within literally a 10-kilometer radius.
Right?
Yes, they're Chinese. Yeah.
They were born in.
No, my mother was born in Portugal, in Lisbon. Yeah, my father is from Hong Kong.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But you were born in.
I was born in Vienna, Austria. Yeah.
How long did you stay in Vienna?
18 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you spend the next 8 years in the States?
No, I actually spent the next 4 or 5 years in the States, traveling as well. And then the last 4 years really in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do you like Hong Kong?
Obviously I like it, otherwise I wouldn't be here. Right. Yeah.
Well, sometimes people stay because of business.
Yeah. Well,
I went to the States for many years. I still don't like it.
Yeah.
It's also fun house.
I think from my perspective, I started. This is not my second company. I started in Hong Kong. So I would say, if I didn't actually like it here, I wouldn't start another company here, frankly speaking. Yeah, that's my choice. Yeah.
OK，稍為翻譯少少先啦，係啦。咁我就問阿蕭日先生咧，點解佢有26歲，我有26歲？我認嘅 ，OK fine，我認。咁咧，人哋咧做咗咁鬼多嘢，我呢度好似乜都冇做過咁樣樣。咁我就話：哇，點解你嘅人生會係快得咁緊要啦？咁佢就。佢答案都好啱嘅，你嘅人生係你睇你自己點樣去走你嘅路，或者你點樣做嘅啫。咁基本上咧，阿蕭日我哋叫佢阿 Yes 啦，咁佢係喺維也納出世嘅，咁佢爸爸媽媽都係中國人，不過佢爸爸都喺香港去嘅 actually， 佢媽媽喺呢一個葡萄牙過去嘅。咁樣咧，佢就一路頭嗰18年都係喺維也納度讀書啦。咁佢亦都係讀呢一個音樂，因為佢嘅父母都係音樂家出身嘅。咁之後嗰4、5年度咧，佢就去咗美國嘅。咁跟住之後嗰幾年咧，就之後仲有幾多年剩啊？之後仲有差唔多3、4年剩咧，就係嚟咗香港啦。咁呢一間 Outblaze 已經係佢成立嘅第2間公司啦。咁我問佢中唔中意香港啦？咁佢話梗係中意啦，唔中意話都唔會留喺度。咁當然咧，我都話喂，我去美國8年半，我都唔中意美國嘅喎。咁佢就話。如果佢唔中意香港嘅話，佢都唔會留喺度開第2間公司，即係而家呢間 Outblaze 㗎啦。Yeah, that was a brief translation.
Want to take a drink?
Okay. Your turn.
That's not a brief translation, actually.
Okay.
She got a very good memory.
He's a very shy boy. Okay, so because I see on your little history here, that says 92, you found the first company in the States?
It's actually 91. Yeah.
91?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this is a little bit
It doesn't
not
really
so
matter.
accurate.
Yeah.
But what? You were like so young. You were like 17 at the time? 17 or 18?
No, more like 18. 18
Right.
verging on 19, yeah.
What kind of a company is that?
Well, it was a graphics company. 3D graphics development, basically. I had some experience with Atari before, where I was doing computer graphics, and basically we decided to take this platform into something more serious, which was basically from Atari, which was more focused on games and entertainment, into computer graphics, so 3D, real time. Actually, it was virtual reality stuff. You know, the kind of stuff you put your glasses on and you see everything in 3D.
And you move around like a
exactly.
moron.
However, it was at that time also you sort of realized that this technology was still very, very much in its infancy, but it was a very exciting thing to be doing. And then there was a bit of a craze going on that around 92, 93, everyone started talking about, ooh, you know, maybe, actually, sorry, 94, 95, everyone started talking about, let's go ahead and start doing, you know, 3D on the internet. Obviously, that didn't really work out, but at the time, people were very excited about that prospect.
Right.
Yeah.
So you started that company. How big was the company? I mean,
Finally, it was only maybe at the most 20 people. Yeah.
Right.
Eventually, what happened to Radiance is it was acquired by SGI.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that's what happened. And then at the end of the company was acquired, and I was actually sent to Asia for training, and that's how I came to Hong Kong. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But how come? I mean, when you sell up, don't you have to like? Don't you have an obligation to stay with the company for?
Normally, yes.
Yeah.
But because of unfortunate circumstances, actually the company was sold against my will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
see.
So basically, I was not required to stay. But of course, at that time, I really didn't have a choice. So I wanted to support the product, and then I basically said, okay, forget it. I'll just try and build something else. I think to where I am today has a lot to do with my past experiences.
Right.
So what happens is, you know, I would say even though, you know, Lexicon Radiance, there was a good business perhaps behind it, you know, I didn't set the shareholding structure correct. I didn't protect my interests well enough. I didn't protect the whole structure. So, you know, one of my partners could just sell it, and I couldn't do anything about it. So it was just sort of you know, at the time I was young, you know, therefore I wasn't really experienced, and I was basing a lot on trust, and therefore the trust was abused. So the next time I don't do that. So it's a matter of learning, right? As long as you don't repeat the same mistake, it's good.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
you're 18. A lot of people was trying to figure out like how to get beer or something. You know?
But only in America. Only in America when you drink when you're 21.
Right，係啦，咁我啱啱問阿一咧就話即係我見到佢個小歷史呢一度咧就話佢93年係嘛？93 did you say?
What?
What year did you found Lexico?
Well, actually, that was founded. Lex was founded in 91, 92. Yeah.
But when did you sell off?
95. 94, 95.
佢91、92年，即係如果計翻佢應該係18歲到咧，就已經成立咗呢間 Lexico and Radiance Software。咁樣咧就主要係做一啲虛擬嘅嘢啦、3D 啦，同埋一啲virtual reality 嘅嘢嘅。咁喺嗰陣時嚟講咧，就去到差唔多94年嗰陣時咧，就有一股熱潮啊！大家都喺度諗啊，好唔好將 3D 嘅嘢擺上網啊，成咁樣嘅，即係姑且唔好講話之後 work 唔 work out 啦。咁到後來，即係你諗下佢嗰陣時係得17、8歲到咧，就已經成立咗呢間公司嘅。咁後來就因為佢係有啲partner 一齊去成立呢間公司啦。咁你知即係佢哋嗰陣時仲係比較後生少少。咁當佢哋成立一間公司嗰陣時，佢哋個 shareholding 即係佢哋嘅持股嘅數量啊，同埋嗰啲規例咧就冇好好地咁樣訂立好啊。咁到後來咧就有另外一間公司買咗佢哋嘅公司 SGI，right？ SGI 嗰間公司咧就買咗佢哋呢間公司。而嗰陣時阿一其實就係唔想賣嘅，但係因為佢哋當初 set up 嗰陣時冇諗到呢一個問題，就變咗佢啲 partner 咧就賣咗啲股份。咁後來賣咗俾呢間公司嗰陣時係95年嘅事啦。咁到嗰陣時，咁佢就留咗喺間公司度，因為講真佢就冇其他路可以揀嘅。咁佢就一路同呢間公司做住落去，直到呢間公司派佢出嚟有 training 嗰陣時咧，就係佢嚟香港嘅時候啦。咁但係我就即係佢就話嗰陣時喺18歲仲係後生啦，咁同朋友開呢間公司嗰陣時就冇諗到會有即係譬如話買賣啊、拆夥嗰陣時會搞到唔開心啊，即係大家唔願意嘅情況之下，咁嗰陣時仲細。咁佢話即係經過嗰次之後，譬如話佢之後再開公司啊，或者再有啲咁樣嘅問題嗰陣時，佢就會好小心處理，就唔會話擺咗啲信任落人哋度，跟住俾人哋出賣咗咁講啦。咁跟住我就講笑，我話算啦，18歲點啊？你18歲成立間公司，仲想點啫？大部分喺美國，因為美國飲酒係21歲，我話喺美國18歲嘅僆仔咧，18歲喺度諗緊嘅嘢咧，就係有咩辦法可以儲到罐啤酒翻嚟咯，基本上係。咁我哋睇下網上面有冇人有啲問題先。
Everything you said completely in another language.
阿陳志文先生，你講緊我啊，定係阿 Yet 啊，定係 Billy 啊？
講緊咩啊？
佢話人咧英文好教咗人未喎。
梗係話你啦，家人。
點知啫？去OK 睇下先。somebody call you Sue Sir。
Okay. Don't need to call me sir.
等下先啊。 有冇啲咩問題咯？
Do you think
Okay,
B2B
there's some-
business will be
there's-
successful in Hong Kong? There is a question from hkgolden.com.
Yeah.
B2B
And another
businesses.
person actually,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
another person actually, BB asked you what exactly does Outplace do?
Right. Okay. Well, I'll go to the first point here. Do you think B2B businesses will be successful in Hong Kong? I think it doesn't really matter where you are. In every place, everything where internet enabling can happen, B2B will be successful. I think it's a concept. It's basically using the internet to deliver a service from one business to another. I think that's something that can work, definitely. The only question is, what kind of business is it, right? So I mean, if the B2B business is not a good one, like any other business, frankly speaking, then it's not going to work. Therefore, I think it really depends what the business is, right, and to know if it's successful or not. In the case of what does Outplace do, we are a B2B business for that matter, and what we do is we provide services to any web-enabled or internet-enabled company or a company that wants to go on the internet with tools. And these tools basically are there for two particular purposes, which is either to drive more revenue to your website or to drive more user loyalty. So for instance, we have products like a free email product, like a messaging product, instant messaging, chat. It's all offered on a private label basis. So for instance, if you go to Lycos Asia, if you go to Star TV, if you go to Hello Asia, if you go to a number of these websites, actually the back end, the actual infrastructure of the services is all powered by Outplace. And basically we offer them either in a co-branding model where the brand Outplace is shown, or in some cases basically we just outsource it completely. So the customer would never actually know that he's using an Outplace service because it all looks like the customer side. And the principle of the business is very much, a lot of people need to...
Wait, you mean your customer outsource it to you?
Yes.
Not you outsourcing to
No,
others?
no.
Okay.
Exactly. They outsource it to us. And the principle behind it very much is because we have a strong technology team and because we have products ready that are focused towards these two factors, which is more loyalty and more revenue opportunities. People can come to us very quickly and we can essentially set up a website in under half an hour and give you all of the tools. Now, we don't do web design, so other people can do the design for you. We provide the tools for customization. We provide the tools and the facilities. And that's practical for a business that may want to go online or maybe even has focus, but they tend to focus on content, but they don't really want to focus on all elements of technology, and they can just give it to us and we can just take care of it very quickly. Yeah.
So, I mean, well, when you say like you don't do the part of the web design,
Yeah.
do you mean you give the tools to the web design people, they put it together, or
Exactly.
they give you the design and you put it together?
Generally, we give the tools to the design company and they put it together. And usually what happens is if you're an established company, such as yourself, Skynet perhaps, or China.com, or any large company, you already have a design group in-house anyway, who needs to pertain the interface to your look and feel. Yeah.
OK，哇，好長，好多內容喎，有
記唔記
朋友
得？
講咁咧，佢就話佢覺得 B to B 嘅 business 咧應該就係冇問題嘅，無論喺香港同埋喺其他地方咧都應該係會掂嘅。咁如果你話即係B to B 兩個 B 掂唔掂嘅話，就好睇你本身個 business 掂唔掂咯。即係如果你本身個 business 唔掂嘅話，B to B 掂唔掂咧都唔關你事㗎。咁基本上咧佢就話佢喺呢間Outplace 咧，基本上佢哋做嘅嘢咧就係幫佢哋嘅 client 咧就會 set up 一啲 website provide 一啲 tools 俾佢，即係話一啲如果想上網嘅公司或者係有興趣，即係已經係用緊互聯網嘅公司咧，佢就會可以 equip 到佢哋咧有晒呢啲 tools 啦。咁但係佢哋就係唔會做 web design 嘅。咁而佢哋俾到呢一個 service 人哋咧，佢哋最主要係有兩個大嘅目的嘅。第一個咧就係話可以增加到人哋嘅增加到呢一個客戶嘅 revenue 啦，即係佢可以透過呢個互聯網度增加佢嘅營業額啦。第二咧就係可以增加到呢一個佢哋網上邊嘅 customer 嘅 loyalty 嘅，即係基本上真係可以 keep 住啲人再翻嚟嘅。咁所以譬如就話佢哋有好多大嘅客戶，而佢哋係匿喺後邊，即係可能係譬如你所聽到好 common 嘅名，即係佢啱啱講話，譬如 Star TV 啊，或者係仲有講嗰啲咩話
Star TV
Lycos。
係 Lycos 咁樣呢啲咧，佢哋其實好可能呢啲公司咧就自己已經完全 outsource 咗俾佢哋，所以你根本係唔知道係 Outplace 做嘅。咁但係咧佢哋就係唔做 design 嗰邊嘅，因為佢話有好多呢啲 client 根本上佢哋本身公司入邊就已經有呢啲咁樣嘅 design team 㗎啦。咁我啱啱問佢啦，咁究竟係你哋抌晒啲嘢俾啲 design 嗰啲去 put together， 即係擺埋一齊啊，即係炒埋一碟咁樣啦，定係佢哋俾嘅 design 你哋去做？咁基本上佢哋係會 pass 翻俾 design 嗰邊。咁因為講真 design 都幾多人做咯，咁佢哋就係會將佢呢啲已經現成嘅 tools 所有嗰啲嘢咧，基本上喺半個鐘頭之內已經可以搞掂添嘅，咁就可以俾到啲web design 嗰邊啲人咧就可以擺上網㗎啦。1 輪嘴話俾你聽，我淨完全喺度背急口令咁樣樣。
真係好厲害。
OK，咁我哋仲有啲咩問題問下先？Let me see. What other questions should I ask you? Okay. Let
睇
me
下
see
有冇網
if
友
there's
問
any
你先
others.
啊。Which musician do you like?
Big Mac actually asked you which Austrian or German musician you like the most.
I don't think there's really any. I mean, there's a lot of musicians I like. I can't really say who do I like the most. Being, having lived in Austria, obviously there might be a general tendency to prefer, say, Mozart.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mozart.
but I wouldn't
Hey,
be.
I know that name.
Yeah.
I'm a total idiot in terms of music. Okay. Okay. 我哋睇睇先。Okay, Marco asked you, so can Outblaze define as an ASP company?
I think to a certain way you could say it was an ASP, but I think with ASPs tend to focus on sometimes a little bit on the consulting element. In our case, an ASP doesn't tend to do outsourcing, full-end back-end outsourcing. So we're sort of, the difficulty a lot of people have with us is that we're not really an ASP, we're not really a portal, right? And we're not really a, people have difficulties defining. There is actually no real name for us because an application service provider develops applications for a particular purpose. Usually the IP ends up belonging to the company. In our case, the IP is still ours because we develop it for a range of customers. In other words, we develop one application and it applies to essentially 50,000 customers that we have today. So it's very different. So I would say maybe a better term, if there's a new term for it, is we would be an application infrastructure firm instead of an application service provider. Yeah.
係啦，佢就會話，如果要準確啲嚟講，應該就唔可以話係 ASP 咯，係一個AI 咯 ，application infrastructure 嘅。咁咧，我 actually 就想問下咧，阿一咧，
That's wrong.
阿一啊，又要姓蕭係咪啊？係咪出邊嗰個？
唔係啊？
係咪親戚嚟㗎？我開始有少少話。
誒有網友問㗎，頭先見到。
係咩？
係啊係啊。
同蕭生有冇關係㗎？
係啊係啊。
You don't have any like
What?
relation to like Stephen Seal here, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I don't even.
Some people are just
係冇
wondering if you
關
have
係
the
嘅。
same last name.
Really?
Yeah.
We probably came out of the same cave. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
500 years ago, right? That's how I'm trying to
5,000
say
years
it.
ago, maybe.
You
Yeah.
say that, 500 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Okay, 我哋睇下仲有冇啲咩問題先。How big is Outblaze now?
80 people.
80 people.
Yeah, we have an office in the U.S., in China, and in Hong Kong. But the way we distribute our business is really not by putting out offices locally. We have a lot of partnerships. So today we have 50,000 customers, and they are located essentially all over the world. And we basically use JVs or basically partnerships to distribute our product. Yeah.
佢哋話阿一就話佢哋而家已經係有5萬個客戶咁啊，全世界都分佈咗㗎啦。咁佢哋而家嘅 office 係喺You said your office are in Hong Kong, in the
Yes.
States,
Yes, and in Beijing.
and in Beijing.
Today.
Whereabouts in the States?
It's in San Jose.
係啦，咁佢嘅 office 就係分別係喺香港啦，喺大陸嘅北京啦，同埋喺美國嘅聖荷西嘅，就係加州嗰邊嘅。咁樣睇下先，有冇揾到大錢 in Hong Kong？
I just read something here.
Yeah, what would you use?
Mozart is Austrian. He was born in Salzburg, which is in Austria. So that was not Germany. That is definitely Austria.
我就 do not challenge him，OK？ 佢係完全係喺維也納嗰度，佢第一間大學讀出嚟咧，係讀音樂大學畢業嘅。嗰陣時佢係16歲啊！你唔好 challenge 佢啦，我勸你
And
就。
there's one question from Mickey. Why the guest? That's you, right? Why are you interested in IT rather than music? Well, he got quite a good
That was one of the
qualification in
questions I want
music.
to ask you. How come? I mean, you graduated from a music college, like when you're I don't know, is that the proper way to put music college? Sounds very not professional, but you graduated when you were 16, and I mean, suddenly, how come you change your mind? Like you direct your whole career into IT rather than like music.
Because I realized I was no good at it. I mean,
No good as in you can't make any money, or you can't
Well,
satisfy yourself, or
I think, maybe I had some talent to be able to graduate in music and to play, but reality is that there were people who were much better than me, and I basically was in a classroom full of music geniuses, frankly speaking. who take maybe who within 1 or 2 hours could do the same thing that I would take maybe a few days to do. So in terms of practice, in terms of learning, I had to work very hard to achieve what they could do. And at the end of the day, I just realized that,
Don't worry,
basically,
I suck.
yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
I'm like a retard, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
basically, I came to that
I'm like-
conclusion. So do I for everyone to be a mediocre person in this industry,
Right.
or do you want to maybe try something else? Yeah.
I found out about that when I was like four years old. I know, I'm retarded in music. 係啦，咁我哋啱啱就問佢咧，點解佢會16歲就讀呢個音樂大學畢業，但係佢會將佢成個點講咧？佢成個 career，佢成個前途突然間轉得咁犀利，由音樂轉咗去 IT 方面咧。佢就話因為佢發覺就唔係路啦，點講咧？應該話係唔係路啦？點解我話點解唔係路？係賺唔到錢啦，定係俾唔到滿足感咧？定係咩？佢就話基本上佢有少少天分嘅喺音樂方面，即係有天分 as in 就係話佢可以點講咧，即係可以畢到業啦喺個學校度。但係咧佢發覺即係譬如當佢學音樂嗰陣時，有好多坐喺班房嘅人係叻過佢嘅玩音樂，即係可能人哋係1-2個鐘頭已經搞到嘅嘢，佢要幾日先搞到出嚟。咁佢就覺得佢嘅天才就唔係喺呢一方面嘅，咁所以佢就點解就轉咗去搞 IT 嗰方面啦。
Waterloo 又有嘢問啊。So do you think most of the so-called IT company is very low tech in Hong Kong? That is a question from Waterloo.
Okay. Well, I think it depends, because when people say IT companies, I think there's a general misconception that an IT company needs to be very high tech. And maybe in our case, we have to be high tech because we deliver technology services. But when you look at a publishing company, you see a lot of, actually, if you look at the internet, see IT companies in the past were always considered technical companies where you develop technical stuff. And sometimes, frankly speaking, the companies that did, Y2K work just not so long ago,
right.
they're considered IT companies, but
right.
the actual work they did was generally like COBOL debugging,
right.
which is 15 years old. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be high tech. But I would say in the case of today's industry, if you maybe focus on the internet, there's a lot of convergence. And the convergence is old media wanting to go into the internet, right. but they don't necessarily want to, they don't see the internet really as a medium where they have to create new technology more than delivering what they have offline, online.
Right.
And therefore the internet really, is it high tech, is it low tech? I think the internet is really a medium. And therefore, if you want to say maybe their infrastructure in comparison to another internet company might be low tech, but ultimately I think looking at it as high tech, low tech may not be the right way to look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody has to invent, but some other people has to put the invention into work.
Exactly.
係啦，咁啱啱有位網友咧就問話，即係香港就問阿先生覺得香港嘅所謂 IT 行業咧，其實咪好 low tech 咯，即係咪好低科技嘅嘢？咁咧蕭生阿一就話基本上唔可以咁樣講嘅。佢話即係所謂嘅 IT 或者係所謂嘅互聯網啦 Internet 嚟講咧，就唔係一定話要高科技嘅。有啲嘢基本上係唔需要科技都算係 IT 嘅行業。好似話即係之前2000年嗰陣時有千年蟲呢個問題啦，有啲公司就專 set up 嚟就係我嚟解決呢一個千年蟲嘅問題嘅。咁嗰啲都其實唔係一啲咁 high tech 嘅嘢，嗰啲即係喺 program 嚟講，即係叫佢係 debug 緊嘢，即係揾出嗰陣時 code 嗰陣時啲問題出喺邊嘅啫。咁佢亦都話就有好多譬如 local 嘅行業咧，會係個興趣點講咧？會個興趣唔係話去 invent 一啲新嘅嘢出嚟，唔係話去發現一啲新嘅嘢、新嘅科技出嚟，而係譬如話有啲書店想將佢哋本身嘅行業或者係其他嘅行業，想將佢哋個 business 係擺上網度，咁變咗就係唔係話一定要最新嘅科技嘢，只不過係佢想將佢本身嘅business 搬上網，咁所以一定要有呢啲公司去即係所謂做少少 low tech 少少嘅嘢。咁其實做咁多呢啲咁樣所謂 high tech 又好 low tech 又好，擺翻埋嚟咧，都係咁多行業咁多傳媒嚟講，都係大家 converge 翻去即係上互聯網呢一樣嘢度嘅啫。咁好啦，我哋仲有啲咩嘢？好啦，咁我哋今日咧訪問阿蕭生嘅時間就差唔多。其實我有好多嘢想問我真係諗極，我最大問題就係唔明點解佢26歲，我26歲，佢可以做到咁多嘢。我諗我俾多一個26年，我都可能做唔到咁多嘢。咁所以咧我今日就好多謝佢啦。咁各位亦都有啲網友問點解佢用英文，因為蕭生係唔識中文嘅。其實咧，我話俾你聽，幫佢曬一曬先。佢係精通呢個英德法意文嘅，即係英文啦、德文啦、法文啦同埋意大利文嘅，唯獨咧就唔識中文嘅，咁就唔好意思。所以點解我哋要翻譯得咁辛苦？所以今日嘅訪問時間亦都短咗一半，因為一半要聽我喺度急口令發一風幫佢喺度翻譯嘅。咁好啦，我哋今日就多謝晒阿一 ，thank you very much for coming and actually I would like to invite you to come here again because I think but I mean not not next week, but I mean in the near future.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Alright，
Okay.
好啦，咁我哋今日嘅第二 part 嘅時間就差唔多啦。咁我哋翻轉頭咧，我哋會有 game players 同大家講下啲 game 嘅。唔知今日嗰3位靚仔嚟唔嚟得齊咧？我哋轉頭見。